Yes, hello everybody. This is Ray from raysunited, and I'm back. Listen, sorry for being late. How many minutes late? 6 minutes late. But hey, it doesn't matter. You know how live shows are all about. You arrange it, it becomes a bit. You do something, and then time just disappears on you. So hey, we're late. Time just keeps moving. Listen, today I've got a very special guest. You know him. He's gonna come on, and we'll go straight to the point and discuss the subjects, the topics at hand, because we take Pi Network very, very seriously. And not just Pi Network, a lot of the mobile mining crypto projects that we're in, we take them seriously. So Pi Network is definitely at the forefront of all of them. Remember, I released a video a few days ago. People were like, "Oh no, Ray said." Listen, calm down, calm down. I support Pi Network 100%. Hence the passion. Do you know what I mean? But if we don't point out one or two things, be it flaws or pros or cons and pros, we will not be serving Pi Network properly. Do you know what I mean? So personally, I feel like people who are sort of blindsided and not talking about the issues and the successes of Pi Network, I believe they're not doing themselves any justice. We are going to do that on this show. Jatin is upfront just like I am. So listen, when I come back, is on.
United. Oh my God, Ray's made another one. Woo!
So Jatin is here. Listen, my screen is very crowded. I'm going to remove something from it so I can make it very, very spacious. I think I'm going to remove this. Yes, now we have Jatin and myself. We're going to talk about a few things. So I'm going to go straight to the point. Jatin, you all know him. He's been on different shows. He's been on the Ice Network live interviews with Zeus and Vindicated Chidi on one occasion. So he doesn't need an introduction. All we're gonna do is go straight to the point and answer your questions within the context of what we're discussing. So, Jatin, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Rays, for having me on the show. It's always been a pleasure to discuss with you on different projects on ICE and on Pi, obviously. So, thank you very much for this.
All right, Jatin. Listen, the reason why you might see a bit of a delay is because of the fact that there's feedback from Jatin's end, and we don't want the feedback to be on the show. So we're trying to structure it in a way that there wouldn't be too much feedback. So guys, bear with us when there is a 1-2 second delay between the two of us. We're just trying to sort ourselves out, so we'll have it well organized. Now let's go straight to the point, Jatin. We all know Pi Network. We love Pi Network. We are very passionate about Pi Network success. Some people misinterpret passion for negativity. Unfortunately, they don't want to know. Do you get what I'm saying? Before I delve into the subject, how has it been going on your end? Obviously, you got so many followers in your obviously what you do. How has it been going on your end with respect to Pi Network?
Okay, so first of all, I'll go through my team, then I'll go to my followers. First of all, when when there was launch of Fireside Forum, when there was the launch of Pi Today, after that we saw a dip in the mining of my team as well. But as soon as they started picking up the local ambassador program, I also initiated it from myself in the month of September, and had engaged local businessmen, many businessmen to accept Pi as well. So I promoted it. I launched it from my end. I encouraged them to accept Pi as a payment on their shops, on their services which they are providing. There are 5 shops which we have already successfully made them accept Pi. So after that, I have seen in my team also that more than 50% are mining now, right? Earlier, before the local ambassador program, there was only 15 to 20% people who were mining. After the launch of the program, the percentage of my team continuous mining have been gone above more than 50%. Right. Second thing is that if we talk about followers, followers have a mixed feeling. There are some people who are very pessimistic about it. There are some followers who are very optimistic about it. Obviously, I cannot. I didn't have done a poll on my Twitter handle. Uh, if you will suggest, I'll do it and we'll share the results with you. But uh, the percentage of how many people are pessimistic and how many people are optimistic, it is not available right now. But as we see, the followers which are there in your channel also and our other social media platforms also, those people are continuously mining. But what they are saying is that all the people who have been engaging with us on different social media platforms, their team members are not mining. Right, just like us, just like ours team members are not mining, their team members are also not mining as much as they should. Right. The third thing is I want to contribute is that it is not about only mining anymore. As I had mentioned in our previous videos and previous discussions also, it is not anymore about mining, right? It is about accumulating now, because until unless you are not accumulating pi, the dream of becoming rich is not going to be fulfilled, because mining alone is mining has been a uh, what we can say, it has become obsolete now. I would not say obsolete. The idea of mining has become obsolete now. Only people who just want to have a piece of pie will be mining. But if you want to accumulate pie, you have to sell something, right? You'll have to sell something. You'll have to provide something for pie if you want to accumulate pie in a large number and very fast. So this is what I want to contribute. Yeah.
Right, Jatin. Listen, you've delved into it based on things that are happening on your end. Obviously, I have my own mind. What I personally have seen so far is that the optimism is still there, no question about it. The optimism is still there, but certain people who were hovering along the lines of pessimism and optimism are swaying towards pessimism, and maybe those people could be brought back by a certain action that maybe the core team might take. Listen, some people don't understand me, they don't understand you. They think we are in it for one thing. Listen, I'm in crypto not for quick buck. I am not in it for that. If it's quick buck, I know exactly what to do to get quick buck. Trust me. I am not in it for quick buck. I am in it to ensure that long term, I have some security. That's what this is all about. Long term, not short term. So I'm in Pi Network for the longer gain, not the short term. So people should understand that. However, we want Pi Network to be the best because Pi Network started the whole mobile mining crypto journey. They started it. So personally, I want it to be the best, because that's where I became even more interested in cryptocurrency. So the fact that I'm passionate about it, people shouldn't mistake it for negativity because I'm not a negative person. If you've been on my channel for a long time, you would know that I've always advocated for Pi Network's success. I've always advocated for that. But when you find something, when you find out something and you feel like that thing could set it back, you want to, make sure that they stay on track. And to do that, you need to light a fire on their asses. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Light a fire on their asses. And I think the moderators took it up eventually. They went on their strike. They made their manifestos known. A lot of people took it on board. A lot of people were in solidarity with them. So that was a good move. What happened? They stopped. I don't know what happened. Somebody might have told them something. They know something probably that we don't, or I'm not sure, but they may know something that we don't, and that's what has caused them to go back to type and put their M's beside their names and go back to being moderators again and back to the same cycle of none or little information and so on and so forth. Now, when I talk about information, I'm not talking about tell us when mainnet is. I don't care about that. What I care about is just tell us that, listen, this is what we're doing. We're here now, blah, blah, blah. Somebody will be like, oh, you didn't invest any money. Of course, I didn't invest money, but I invest time, and time is money. I've done over 400 videos on Pi Network. That is my time that I've used to do that. I could have used it for other things, but I thought, let me also elaborate and teach some people who don't know much about it, stuff. So hey, it's up to people, but that's what that is all about. I believe Pi Network will go places, 100%. I believe that, but it could go even better if they do certain things much better than they are at the moment. Anyway, let's go to the subjects. Jatin. So today we're talking about a few subjects. The first one we're going to talk about is Fireside Forum. Now, Fireside Forum has been around for a few months now, for 2 months or 3 months now. And yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw something on Twitter. Somebody posted and made a comparison as to what Fireside Forum's popularity used to be and what it is now. What is your take on how it's become? We know the advantages of Fireside Forum, we know that, but what do you think is happening with it right now, and what could be done to ensure that it gets better or improve? What do you think?
Yeah. So first of all, my post was also deleted 2 days ago on Fireside Forum. What I posted on over there was that Google is there was a news about Google that it is going to make Google Pixel in India, right? It is going to manufacture. So I shared that news in Fireside Forum, and checked in yesterday. There was a notification that my post was deleted by the moderator because of violating the Fireside Forum rules. I don't know what was the violation, so I have claimed a dispute. Let's see what happens. But see, these are of the few things because of which uh, there's have we are seeing the decline in the interaction on that platform, right? The user which you are saying is Eddie. I remember that Eddie shared that comparison between what it was earlier and what it is now. And see, the more apps will be there, the less users will be there on each platforms, right? What happened is when Fireside Forum had launched, right? If you remember, there were very less apps on the mainnet which people could use, right? So what happened is when there's a hype for a certain kind of app, all the people flock into that, right? Together. So they use it, and they get into the interaction. Some of them just go there to see what it is like. They do not go over there to use it actually, right? So after a few times, when people put in their Pi to purchase tokens, when they realize that it is very expensive, it is very expensive, that platform, so they refrained themselves. Because as we see, uh, Pi chats also, it is also a paid platform, right? So why people want to spend their money? Pi is money, right? So why would want to people spend their money to do the all those things which they are doing already on Twitter or Facebook for free, right? So these are the few things which Pi core team need to think. Either they should provide more tokens for one Pi on the Fireside Forum. For, let's say, for one Pi they are providing 100 tokens, right? For one Pi they should provide n number of tokens, obviously more than 100. So I think there will be more interactions, because for me itself it is very expensive right now. So that is why. And the second thing is that the centralization is very much, the moderation is too much over there, which is why people are refraining over there. I think your post was also deleted a few months ago, right? So yeah, so that's why I think it is uh, better to post less over there, because the more you'll get identified as a chat, as a forum violator. I don't know, it is still a centralized project, right? So your username can get be listed over there. This person always violates the rules. So this is what I have to say on that.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense when it comes to the Fireside Forum. Obviously, like you said, rightfully, or rightly, my post was deleted. They said it was in violation of certain T's and C's or whatever, of course, COCs and stuff. And I was thinking that, well, I even made a video or so about it, and I actually posted something on Twitter as well, and showed the evidence of the deletion. A lot of people saw it, and people were not happy about it because I obviously a lot of people paid some tokens into it and so on and so forth. So people were really disappointed as to where their tokens might have gone and so on. So me, I haven't been there for a very long time. I went there a few weeks ago to check, and the interactions there were minimal compared to back in the day when it started. So unfortunately, they're not allowing people to voice their opinions properly. And I don't think people are posting anything that's really offensive, considering the rules surrounding it. So it's a bit surprising seeing what they're doing at the moment. But hey, Fireside Forum to me has a long way to go. I feel like it's promising. It's definitely promising, but they should look into it. And I understand it. I was watching a TV series called Billions, by Paul Giamatti and Damian Lewis. And there was a part where the lead actor, Damian Lewis, he went to a place where they had a fireside conversation. Do you get what I'm saying? So when the conversation was had in a way that was civil, people were talking about it. Even when the grievances were there, they tried to just put it aside, set the grievances aside, and have a conversation with a fire in between them. So they had a fireplace. So the discussion was had on the fireside. Do you know what I'm saying? And immediately Fireside Forum came to my head that, right, so that Fireside Forum, the name Fireside may have been inspired by the fireside discussion that was had during the Billions, series. So, but then if that's the case, then it should epitomize what fireside discussions are all about. You're having a discussion where you have fire there, which is more like the central point where everybody speaks. So the fire's there, you're having your conversation. Everybody's tired. You go to villages, people have conversation around fire in the night. Do you know what I mean? And that's what happens. So we're having a conversation, whether we agree with ourselves or not. It has to be constructive. It doesn't have to be, just deleted or bad or blocked because somebody doesn't agree with it. And that's my grievance, to be honest. That's where my argument is that if you say it's going to be decentralized, then you need to practice that decentralization. Try and just give us a little leeway, have a leash, but don't just pull it immediately you don't like something. That becomes a bit of an issue. And that's where my argument is at the moment when it comes to a Fireside Forum. But it still has potential. Have you got anything to say?
Yeah, actually, when you practice too much centralization, right? For example, if your post has been deleted once, Eddie's post has been deleted once, my post has been deleted once, then if this practice gets continued for a longer period of time and for multiple users, then why those users will go over there again, right? So they should think about this. They should think in a way that their user base on that platform grows, not declines, right? So if you allow people to speak themselves, and I did not in my case I did not put in any opinion. It was just a news that Google is going to be making manufacturing right, Google Pixel in India from next year. It was just a news, and I don't know what violation that news had in that. I never understood it. So why? So I have made a dispute over there. Let's see what happens. I'll update the community on Twitter. And second thing is that you also mentioned that the optimism about Pi network. So see, I want people to remember. I want people to imagine, since how long you seen a project giving you mining for at least 5 years, right? Continuous mining, right? Either they have launched and failed, either they vanished. There has not been a project which has given you mining for a continuous 5 years of period of time and not being launched. They are just putting in money And when people saying that, oh, we have invested so much in the ecosystem, we are providing selling, we are providing goods and services. See, you are just doing a little part. Imagine how much money they have been putting in for last 5 years into their project, and they would want it to be successful, right? When people say that it is not a successful project on Twitter as well, I see messages when people say that it is not a successful project. No, it is not. It is going to be successful. They have been putting their time, they have been putting their money, they have been, a lot of investment, not only theirs, but also the private equity investors also, right? They are looking at something, right? If you look at the broader vision, right, which tap to mine crypto has given you a QR code to to make payments. There's no other crypto in the world right now which has given you uh, that QR code scanner on your phone, and people are actually using it. There's no crypto. I do not remember any kind of crypto apart from Pi network. So it is going to be a very big thing, what people are thinking of right now.
Yeah, that's a great one. Now let's move from the Fireside Forum and let's go to KYC, which in the past few days, obviously, I think last on Friday, sorry, on Thursday, it came to a lot of people's minds that, not minds, it came to our realization that we've been allowed to, get some people validated for KYC. And I can tell you, the people I validated, a few of them didn't have their faces clear, to be honest. And I had to get somebody to check, somebody beside me, to also, ratify to see if this is clear, if I'm not being harsh. I'm telling you, some people you don't even see anything. They have the picture they've taken, and then the other one from the document, it's like nothing. You don't see anything. So with that, obviously, I had to turn them down because I can't just pass somebody KYC or validate somebody positively if I can't see their faces. So it was more to do with facial validations and all of that, not to do with documents. That's what that validation was all about, really. I didn't get to validate anybody from the UK with driver license or passport or whatever. It was more all around the world, validating people's faces, comparing them, and that's what I was doing. But and I think I had one liveness check. Okay, that being said, Jatin, do you still believe KYC is delayed? Just be upfront with me.
Yeah, so in our last discussion also, we had talked about KYC. Almost 6 million people have been KYC'd. When we talked in the last video, there were almost 6 million. Right now, they must be over 6 million right now. So, say the first thing is that the people who are stuck in the KYC are only the people who had KYC'd themselves, who are provided the KYC slots last year. Only those people are stuck right now. The second kind of people who are stuck right now are the tentative ones. So the tentative ones are getting cleared. I get messages on a daily basis for those from those whose KYC were in tentative KYC, and they are being approved gradually. But the people who are in review for a longer period of time, let's say 1 year, 1.5 year, only those are the ones who are in review. The third thing is that the people who are not getting KYC slots, right? See, we have talked about this multiple times. We had talked about it in our last video also. I had pointed a few points also. If people want to see, they can go back to that video of yours. Uh, there were multiple points because of which people are not getting KYC slots. The first thing is that if they had logged into multiple phones, they'll there will be a delay in those people's KYC slots. If people had tried earlier to make multiple accounts, those people had will be having a delay in their KYC slots, right? If people you know do not have verification, not for all, but for some people who have not verified their phone numbers, Facebook, or email, they'll not have KYC slots for a longer period of time. Because if we go back to uh, 28th December 2021, right? So 2022. So in that update, which came from PICO team, they had said that these kind of cases will be put later when the normal KYC slots will be given out to people, right? So all the complicated issues will be solved later, and the smooth sailing of the people who have all the things cleared in their accounts will be given KYC slots first, and the complicated cases will be shifted to last. So also the ones who are globally muted or muted in certain chats. So all those types of cases will be shifted to the last. Third thing is that uh, many of my team members who are reviewing their team members, they are getting KYC slots very easily. And there's a person called Chetan in my area, in my neighborhood. He's not in my team, but he is one of the pioneers who I met on Twitter only, and later I found out that he's my neighbor. So what he told me is, there was a person in his team whose account was dormant for like 6 months, right? And she had lost her credentials. So we solved that problem of her credentials, and she logged in. After logging in again, after logging in again, within just 7 days of continuous mining, she got her KYC slot. And imagine that account was dormant for 6 months. So people should not should not say that KYC slots are not available. KYC is working fine right now. Only the thing is that the people who are old enough in the system, they are only facing the problem of KYC slots and KYC in review. Tentative KYC is a no problem. It will be cleared. It only requires additional checks. It is getting cleared gradually, and it will be cleared. Yeah.
Right. So obviously somebody here, Elman01 saying, why is there a delay in KYC? We didn't say there's a delay. It's a question that I put to Jatin, asking him, does he think there is a delay in KYC? And obviously looking at it, he's just probably saying there isn't a delay. It's happening as we speak. But there are many of us, in my opinion, there are many of us. And in my opinion, again, I still feel like the servers aren't able to handle the number of people, the sheer millions of people who at a given time, if given the opportunity, would want to do their KYC ASAP. And if that happens, it could crash the system. So that's why they're doing it gradually to ensure. Yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah. Also, when we look at the day before yesterday, we all got KYC validations from all over the world, right? So, on an average, I did 50 validations the day before yesterday, and out of 50, 32 were fake, right? Just like you mentioned, either they were fake, or they were not processed properly, or they were all those people, all those KYC which we validated day before yesterday were they. I believe that they all belong to the first lot or second lot of KYC people, right? Right. So, it- and all those were in review. This is what I believe. And now the process, after that, we have selected unclear photo or photo do not match. When we have selected, I don't know if they'll get a resubmission button or their KYC will be rejected. I don't know about it. Nobody knows about it. But those were the people who were in review. So so when we say that review KYCs are not being processed, see, these are the problems. For example, if, let's say, if there was no experienced validator like you and me, or some other people who are experienced validators. Imagine if they pass those KYCs just out of excitement. What will happen then, right? So core team is doing what it needs to be done, and they are doing it very cautiously, and I totally agree with them on this. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jackson. As you were speaking, something came to mind. It's absolutely true because most of the validations I made were unclear pictures or unmatching pictures. So I believe those ones were definitely under review. They were definitely under review, and they're the ones that the court team want to clear out. So they don't want it to be that the AI might have got it wrong, because in most cases the AI won't get it wrong. Do you know what I mean? So they want us, the humans, to just cross check and see if what the AI might have found is in tally with what we found. And to be honest, you're right. Most of the ones I validated were not matching. The pictures weren't matching, or they weren't clear. So I believe they were the ones that were under review, and they want it just cleared so they can go to maybe the tentative KYC, and then maybe after that they would open the floodgates for everybody to try and get KYC. Because if they keep doing it that way, what's going to happen is we'll still have a stack load of people who are still going to be under review, or no, not review, they'll be in the tentative KYC, and then they will still have that queue ongoing, and that will not be great. Do you know what I mean? So, me personally, listen, I would say KYC at the moment, it's not delayed. The word delayed, it means that nothing is happening at all. That's what it is. It's ongoing. It's a bit slower, that I can say. It's a bit slower, but it's ongoing. People are getting KYC'd here and there, but it's not the numbers that we expect it to be. Remember, again, there's a caveat here. If the number of people who are supposed to be KYC don't get KYC, we can't get to mainnet. We can't get to open mainnet. You need to remember that. As much as the ecosystem needs to develop, we still need a majority of people to be KYC fully. If majority of people are not fully KYC'd, we can't get to open mainnet. Guys, you need to remember that. That is there. It's in the white paper. So please remember that. Whatever you do, remember that. When I get irritated, yes, it's about things that I believe the core team should do. But when it comes to in a case where the core team are doing something right, I have to also say it. Do you understand? So I believe when it comes to the KYC, they're doing it the way they're supposed to do it to ensure that it's not disorganized. Do you get what I'm saying? Because there's too many of us, over 50 million. It's a lot of us. Trust me, it's a lot of us. So please, that I think we should bear some patience with the core team. Do you want to say something?
Yes, I just want to give one more example. There's a member in my team. His name is Rahul, and he is from my neighborhood only. And he has a tendency of changing his phones very fast, right? Whenever an iPhone gets launched, he upgrades it. So 4 years back, when I joined him in my team, uh, so he has just like his tendency, he changed his phones, and as soon as he changed his phones, he did not uh, had verify his phone number. What he had done is he had logged in with his Facebook, so his Facebook was automatically verified, right? But when he changed his phone and he logged into his new phone, what he did every time is he made a new account, right? So his original account was lost, and every time he changed his phone, he just he was not sure that if he had logged in from Facebook initially. So what he did, sometimes he made a new account with his phone number, then he changed his phone, then he logged into a new phone, and then he logged in with another number. So there were multiple accounts. So he met me a few days ago, just a week ago, and we discussed about it. So where is your account? You are not mining. So he said, I'm mining. When I saw his phone, there was only mining of uh 400 pies. I get I said to him that you are mining since uh, since the time when I started mining, so you must have let's say 10 or 15K right now. So he said to me that I am unable to log in that account. So what we did is we found out his account. We both didn't know that he had logged in with his Facebook. So we found out that he logged in with his Facebook. Then we logged in his account. I just verified his phone number also in front of him only. And then what happened is, yesterday only he messaged me that he received his KYC. So see, so the multiple accounts also, and then the that account was dormant for a year. for a year or more than a year. That account was dormant, and then he started mining again, a continuous mining of 7 days. He received his KYC and he cleared it then and there within 15 minutes. So it is not that KYC is delayed. It is just that the things which are supposed to be done are happening, and things which are not supposed to be done, which needs to be halted, are being halted. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jatin. And now we're gonna do we're halfway through the show, so or almost halfway. I don't know how long we're gonna be here, but let's see. Let's see how long it goes. It's live, so I don't want to rush it. All right. So I'm gonna put some questions that some people have asked or whatever. One is directed to you, Jatin. So this is it. And the person say, is Jatin able to speak to the to core team? If so, then tell them that we need them to come out live and speak to the community. We have questions that we need them to answer. This is to you, Jatin.
Okay. So what happens is, I would not to give a disclaimer. I just want to give a heads up that yes, I do talk to them via email very few times, sometimes quarterly or half yearly. They are not very communicative in terms of, see, we are not chat buddies, right? I just ask them few questions.
So, Jatin, we will get to the communication part. So you just answer that question. We'll get to the communication part because that's the next subject. So answer this question and then we'll get to the communication part.
So you want me to answer this question?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, I am able to talk to them. Not frequently. We are not chat buddies. We just talk on updates. Just like uh, in the month of September, I had launched the local ambassador program for my country. So I had sent them email that these are the persons. So they replied me back that what are the challenges that you guys are facing when you are asking people to accept pi. So we just made some pointers that these are the things that people are facing right now in order to accept pi in their shops or in their services. So we just exchange some conversation on that. We obviously, I cannot disclose on that, but yes, I do talk to them sometimes. Yeah. On the communication part, yes, I had asked Swaroop, which is the key person who I talk to frequently. I had talked to Swaroop to come on some kind of social media platforms with Ray or with Vindicated or with me or with Eddie, because uh, we we 4 or 5 people are the ones who critically analyze things. So what they told me is that they are very engaged in certain things, and they will start coming to the social media platforms in a later year of later in the year. So I don't know if what they are into, tied up right now, but let's see if they come up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to the communication part, which is where we are at the moment, so let's delve straight to the communication part of the whole thing. Um, that I'm a very communicative person, obviously, and I like when people go back and forth with me when it comes to communication in a very constructive way, and that's why I actually like Zeus and his team a lot because they're very communicative. They respond to. I don't text them often because obviously, if it's not important, I wouldn't text them, but when I find out that something is a bit boggling and I feel like, you know what, let me just send a message, I would send a message in a very constructive way. And in most cases, 9 times out of 10, I will get a response. So when I get the response and I feel like, okay, this is a good one, I will tell the community that, listen, such and such and such is what's happening, which is what you also do, and that's the thing. So it is not just about we trying to gain cloud, because if it's cloud, like I said, cloud is easy to gain, but it fades as quickly as well. You know what I mean? So that's not what this is all about. It's not about cloud. It's about helping the community, and that's what we're all trying to do. Do you know what I mean? So, um, personally, I've had a communication with somebody. He's very discreet and want to remain stealth, so he is stealth. And obviously, that person gave me a lot of good information when it comes to what the core team are doing and what they're not doing and so on. And that person is very critical as well. And so when I say things, which we'll delve into very soon, when I say things, I'm not saying it because that's what I think. It's because that's what I've been told from a reliable source. Do you get what I'm saying? So thinking something is different, and obviously knowing something is also different. So people, when I release a video and say pi is an experiment, people don't get it. They don't know where the substance is coming from. That, oh, what does it mean by pi is an experiment? It is not negativity. If I say pi is an experiment, it's not negative. But anyway, we'll go into that a bit later. So personally, the communication part, I feel like they could do better. Obviously, they could do better. They should find ways of communicating with us. You know, there's so many different ways of communicating. You don't have to use your own platform all the time. You have to spread your wings, go to other people's platform, people who are on the ground, people who communicate with the masses, albeit in a smaller number because we're not big platforms, we're small platforms, but we're doing our best with the little facility we have. And we're able to communicate to a few people. And believe me or not, some people with bigger platforms, they take our substance, our stuff we do, you and I, and they talk like they're the ones who are saying it because they have bigger platforms, but they don't have the material, they don't have the source to get the information. So they will use our information instead of saying, oh, they will source it to maybe Raise United or source it to Jatin. They wouldn't do that. They would just say, oh, we've heard that Pineapple. No, they haven't heard anything. They've seen it on what we've said and sourced it properly, and they've seen that and used that because they have bigger platforms than us, you know. And that's why I try to use the YouTube channel instead of Twitter, because when I use the YouTube channel, I'm able to actually impart the information to the loyalists, the ones that actually want to watch and hear what I've got to say, as opposed to just typing it on Twitter where people just come in, copy and paste, put it on their timeline and say they did it. But me, when Jatin posts something and I want to use Jatin's thing, I will source it to Jatin and say source at Jatin Gupta 0003. So everyone knows it's not my material, it's from Jatin. So you respect the person whom you get the information from. That's exactly how I do my things. Or I will quote, retweet it. Simple. And then I know the person has been given respect. But a lot of people don't give respect to where the material comes from. They copy it and they paste it with no source whatsoever. Communication is key, but you need to communicate it properly. So the core team can communicate with us using so many different avenues. I'm not saying they should come to Race United. Of course, I'll be happy if they come to Race United, because then I know that I'm doing something that they like. But the thing is, they're not going to the right people. They're going to people who don't even mind Pi. They're going to people who don't even know anything about Pi Network, you know, and that's where my problem is. You know, if they go to people like you, me, or Eddie Cabas or Vindicated Chidi or whoever, these are the people who have been mining Pi however long. Do you understand what I'm saying? These are the people who know what Pi Network is all about. These are the people who are in the mix, who know what's happening. We've seen it, you know. So if they come to us, we've got people like Dax, we've got people like the Truth TV, we've got people like Anecho, we've got people like Elman01, we've got people like Daniel. These people will ask questions because they're pioneers and they're on a platform that discusses Pi Network and other mobile mining cryptos as well. So personally, they can improve on the communication. Personally, they can do better. They have the facilities to do better. They can't use their YouTube channel only or their Pi Network platforms only. They have to spread their wings, just like what's his name? Ice Network is doing. Ice Network have their own YouTube channel. They could go there and say Q&A, but they don't do that. They come to Raise United or they go to Vindicated Chidi's Twitter space and they answer questions. That is the smarter way to communicate with the masses. And that's why Ice Network is growing faster at this rate and in a quality way. Remember, quality over quantity, in a quality way than most of the other mobile mining cryptocurrencies. So I am happy about what ICE is doing. But Pi, I've always been happy with Pi Network, but I have my reservations with their communication. So now I'm directing the question to you. Knowing what you know, what do you think they can do to improve on the communication part?
Right. So in our last video also, like I mentioned, their approach of separating those two platforms, Fireside and Pi Chats, is a very is a very innovative approach, right? So in last video also we talked about that PyChat is going to be a messenger, a regular day messenger for them, right? Where companies can dive in and can interact with their customers, right? I have there are pros also, there are cons also. For example, like you and I are, for let's say have n number of followers, right? What if tomorrow you say that, hey, message me, this is my username. So what happens is your um, you know your worth of messaging you will increase, right? So it's a loss for the person who wants to ask you a question, right? But in a certain way it is also a pro, that there will be lesser spams. For example, like you have also experienced, I have also experienced, in our Twitter page there are, in our Twitter DMs there are certain spam messages we get every day, every single day. So we have to just ignore them, right? On the pie chats, the thing they have introduced of paying to ask a query is just like a company called Topmate, right? If you know Topmate, what happens is they pay you for your time, right? If a person wants to ask you a question, just have to, what we say, uh, book a time with you to talk with you. They'll have to book a time to chat with you, and they'll have to pay to talk with you, right? So the more you'll be asked for, the more you'll be paid for. This is what a pro of that pie chart is. Third thing is that pie chart is going to be uh, as we have already seen the wallet integration, it will be uh, a direct paying messenger app also, right? I had given an example
Yeah, we'll, we'll
in
we'll talk about the staked DM very soon. So
yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah. So in short, it is going to be evolved with time, and there will be more ways from Pico team that it will interact in pie chats only, because it is their product. They don't want people to talk to them from other platforms. They want people to come into it, because the inclusivity vision of theirs is going to be fulfilled from Fireside Forum and from PyChats. Yeah.
Yeah, that is also good. Again, that is the Web3 thing that we've been talking about, obviously. So that makes perfect sense. What I also believe is that we can still integrate Web2 into Web3, or fall in between. Because at the moment Web3 is not fully integrated, because not many people actually know blockchain technology and all of that. So let's just say Web3 is there. It's slowly but surely ushering itself in. We will get there eventually, but for now, we still need to use the Web 2 platforms in order to let people understand how to work with the Web 3 platforms. Do you know what I mean? So, Web 2 platform, that's what we're on right now on StreamYard and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and all the other social media platforms. They're all Web 2 platforms. And yes, obviously, there is centralization there, there is censorship there, here and there, but Web3, the whole point of it is there'll be decentralization and less censorship. That doesn't mean that you should post something derogatory and all of that. Yeah. Continue.
If you have, I'll put my point after you finish. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, yeah. So as I was saying, communication is always the best way to impart information to people, and there's so many means of communication, and I'm always happy to receive information from a very well-sourced place. I'm always happy to receive that, because at the end of the day, once you receive it, you obviously look at it, sift through it, and see what you think should be said and what shouldn't be said. And at times, you may be given the information, but you'll be told, you have a gagging order as to when and how you could say it. Again, the information is coming from that source, so you need to know how to obviously impart it to the people that are interested in it. So me, to be honest, uh, like I said, the PyCore team, they're doing a great job. Remember, don't get me wrong, They're doing a great job. They've done a great job so far, but there's a lot more to do. And the community is always there for the progress of Pi Network. And I respect the core team 100%. But like I said, if I don't love Pi Network and I'm in it for only one thing, I will not criticize it, and I'll just be there and say I'm waiting for mainnet, and that's it. And I'll just sit down there, relax, because remember, I've been migrated and I have my Pi, some of them in my wallet, some of them are locked up. So I can sit here and do nothing about that and not talk about it and feel comfortable and say it doesn't matter. When that time comes, it will be here and I'll be okay and I'll do what I have to do. But that's not the case. Other people are not there yet. Other people are stuck. Other people have not been migrated. They've been KYC. They're still in the queue to be migrated. Other people have not even had a sniff of any KYC invitation. So, that's what it is. And so we have to be helpful to all the other pioneers who are in those predicaments. You know what I mean? So personally, listen, communication, any form that it comes in, as long as it reaches the masses, I'm all for it. Now you can go ahead, Jatin.
Yeah. So what I want to say in between is because something clicked in my mind. So if you look at the evolution of Twitter after Elon Musk has taken over, so two things has been done recently in Twitter itself. The first thing is that we all know that you have to, as to become a verified person, you have to verify your phone number, right? This is the first thing. Now, recently, what they have done is to ensure that you are a real person behind your account, they have introduced Twitter KYC. And Twitter KYC is exactly, I have done that. I have done that Twitter KYC full implemented on my account. And if you if you'll go through that Twitter KYC for yourself, you'll notice that it is exactly the same as Pi Network KYC. They have implemented it, and why they have implemented it, you will have to connect the dot. A few months ago, they had announced that Twitter is going to be an everything app, right? So that's why they are calling it X. It is going to be an everything app where you will be able to trade cryptos also, right? So what they have done is, second thing, to avoid spams and to avoid fake accounts who will be trading cryptos or other stocks if they integrate stocks also. So they have introduced one more thing. They have introduced to pay for the people who want to interact into the platform. They'll have to pay $1 a year, right? So what will happen is, for example, let's say if Rays United had 10 accounts. I'm not saying Rays United has 10 accounts. Just for an example, if Rays United has 10 accounts on Twitter, so what he'll have to do is he'll have to first get them KYC'd if they are real or not. Second thing is that he'll have to pay $10 for 10 different accounts for a year, right? Yearly. So what happens is it reduces the amount of spam accounts and bots. So the same thing, if you see, it is happening in pie charts and Fireside Forum, right? They don't want n number of accounts which are not real people. They want real people, and they want inclusivity, right? So if you see, if you go to the Twitter platform and if you go to the premium you know upcoming features, you'll see all those things getting listed in Twitter also, exactly the same which Pi Network has done in last 6 months. Yeah.
Right. Listen, communication is key. We've spoken about a few different things. We've spoken about KYC and other things. We've spoken about Fireside Forum. We've spoken about non-communication. Apparently non-communication. But yeah, they are communicating, albeit not as the way most people expect it to. I'll be reading your comments. I've saved some comments which I'll be reading right now before we get to the next subject. All right. So the comment I'm going to read, this one I don't think has anything to do with the subject. The person is from South Korea, called, I think, Pop, and he says, "Hi Ray, I want to introduce South Korea Pi YouTuber who visited Pi, accepted business around Korea. Pi accepted business around Korea. The channel's name is Future Pi. Could you check up? Yeah, okay, I'll check him up. Future Pi. Let me write it down so I don't forget. Yeah, I'm coming. Give me a minute. All right, you can speak, Jatin. You can speak.
Yes, who is this person? I do not know the person's name. It is written in Korean, I guess. So, whoever this person is, I have visited that channel many times, and the person is a very smart guy. He wears a cap. If this person who has asked this question, he'll recognize he sometimes wears a cap. And what he does is, there's an app in Korea, South Korea, which in which they have listed Pi stores, which accept Pi according to the app's disclaimers. What are those disclaimers? Is that if you want to accept Pi and if you want to you know accept Pi in your as a payment, so what you'll have to do is you'll have to at least accept 30% of a commodity's value in Pi. If this person is reading, if this person is listening to me, he'll recognize that. So there's an app called Pi Store, and people can check it out. It is listed on Google Play and Apple. I don't know about Apple. I had visited in Google Play. So there are 258 apps, 258 stores which are listed right now in South Korea, who accept Pi in bifurcation of amount of the commodity. Yeah,
What's the name of the app again? The app.
Pi Store. No. It is not that. It is not the same. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link.
Is it Pi Store Global?
Wait a second. If you allow me, I'll just send you a link on WhatsApp right now.
Did you send a WhatsApp, Jatin?
Just wait a second. Give me just 2 minutes. I'll just send you. You
Ah,
can continue. You can continue.
yeah. So all the while I was silent. Don't worry, I'll edit it out when I'm releasing the video. I'll edit it out. This is great news. Obviously, I didn't know about it to be honest, but this is great news. And Daniel, thank you for reminding me and paying me that you can't hear me, but obviously I just saw it. Sorry for that. Um, this person, Hamro Phillips, saying, "Hi, Ray and Jatin. We're pioneers from Nepal, and can't use it in here because government has banned all the use of crypto. Please tell us when will be mainnet and we could use it worldwide." All right, we shall see. Let me just make this full screen because Jatin is not here at the moment. Yeah, this is interesting. Honestly, this is interesting, and I love these type of things, people. I do like these type of things. You may be having network issues, bro. Yeah, Jatin, you've frozen. I can see you've frozen. So get yourself sorted out. Okay, Jatin is back. Let me bring him in. Yep, Jatin, you're back. You were having network issues.
No, I had minimized it. You're not audible. You're not audible.
I just muted myself. Oh, okay. Yeah, I said, have you sent it? If you have, or if you haven't, I'll receive it later, and then I'll take a look at it. But yeah, it's interesting that they do have that. I will really do some research into that, and then maybe tell people what that's all about, and if it's viable. But I'll check that channel as well just to see what content he's doing or she's doing, whoever. But yeah, very good one. So there is actually the comment that was made. It's called what's the channel? Future Pie. So I'll take a look at it and see. Anyway, let's move on. We're 1 hour into it. We still have a few minutes to go. So let me just go ask the questions that I want to ask. Not or discuss what we want to discuss. Now we're going to discuss staked DMs, staked direct messages. Now this one happened a few days ago. Everybody got excited. I got excited. And then I realized the more popular you become, the more people have to stake in order to have a conversation with you. People started to panic that why do I have to pay thousands of pi, if even if I don't have it or I have that much, thousands of pi to get Nicolas Kokalis to respond to my message. And I'm like, don't send him a message then. That's the whole point. He's too popular. If you send him, he's not going to be able to respond because that's the whole point. The point is, it's showing you he's too popular, he's too busy to be responding to your messages. So if you see that they're charging anything more than 5 pi, please stay away because if the person doesn't respond, it means you're gonna obviously get that 5 pi burned or whatever. You're gonna lose it or whatever it is. Now, you know what's happening. I definitely know what's happening. Tell the audience what you think the whole staked DMs are all about. Tell them, Jatin.
Yeah, so we will start with the basics for the people who are just watching the video about stake DMs for the first time. So stake DM says what people had sent me message also. What is it about? So in the simpler words, uh, what happens is to remove the spams and bots. Like what they have introduced is pie chats and stake DMs. So what happens is if I want to send a DM to Raise United, so I'll have to stake my 0.20 pi to send him a message plus 0.01 fee, right? So this is the base rate at which I can send DM to anybody, right? So what happens is, for example, if Ray got very popular and if I had to send him a message again, and let's say hundreds of people are messaging him, and I am the 101th person who has to message him. So what will happen is you will have to multiply that 0.01 0.21 into n number of people. So the more people messages him, so then the 0.21 will be multiplied by n number of people, right? Now, the catch is that, for example, if he doesn't accept my request to chat with me, the the pi which I have staked will get into a new wallet which they have created, and it'll stay there only. I do not know right now what will happen to those pi which are there, but it'll stay there. But if he accepts it and we start conversating, uh, if we start the conversation naturally and as usual, so what will happen is the pie which I have staked to chat with him will come back to me. And people are messaging me that they have not received uh, their pie for last 10 hours, or let's say 12 hours, or maybe one day. But when I had tried it with certain people, I had tried it with Edwin, the CEO of PyChain Mall. I had tried it with Eddie, and I had tried it with many of my team members. All my pie, which I staked to start a conversation with them, came within an hour or within just half an hour of that particular person, right? So it is what it is all about is to create a scarcity of a popular person. It is like that. So obviously, if you are going to message Warren Buffett, and if he is on Pi, Buffett will be, why should I reply these guys? And if there's an incident, he does a lunch every year. Warren Buffett does a lunch, a paid lunch, and what he does is the amount collected with that lunch is gets donated. He donates it to the people who are in need. So it is like that, right? If a person wants to meet a popular person, they can stake n number of their crypto or n number of pi to meet them, and the amount collected, I don't know if that could be donated, or if that could be used for certain purposes. Maybe they'll use it in corporate social responsibility, the CSR, which we have in every company, the 2% that company uses. So I don't know about that, what will happen to those money. Yeah.
Yeah, personally, I think on one hand it's a good idea, but if you don't think smartly, it becomes a very disastrous idea for the individual who is requesting for a an open line of communication, of chat between the popular person and themselves. If I was a popular person, which I'm not, but if I was a popular person, I would immediately, obviously, make sure I pay attention to my Pi chats, private chat. So my private chat. So if you look here, you can see that's my private chat. I don't have many people, about 5 people. So those of you who are here, 37 of you, if you want to chat with me privately on my private chat, you can just request for it and see if I respond, which I would anyway, because I don't want you to lose your Pi. I don't think Nicholas Kokalis will not respond. I think he'll respond because I don't think he would want the people to lose thousands and thousands of Pi. I don't think so. But the point is, you may not lose it, but you may have it hanging there for a while because Nicholas Okalis is busy as well. So he can't spend the whole day on his phone granting acceptance of people's requests the whole time. So again, it may take time before he responds, but I don't think he will not respond. I think he'll respond for you not to obviously lose that Pi because he wouldn't want that. I don't think he would want that. But the thing is, somebody's asking, why do I have to pay thousands of Pi to get to communicate with you? That's not what it is. It started small. I remember when I was doing it was in the hundreds, and then suddenly it went to the thousands. So it means his popularity has grown and grown and grown and grown. That's what it is. It means the requests are going on and on and on and on. That's what it means. It's gonna get him busy. That's one thing for sure. And he's gonna be like, "What have I done? I've made myself too busy, more than even busy on Pi Network itself." Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I believe it's a good thing on one hand, but it could go south on the other hand. But I don't think Nicholas Okalis will make that happen. I don't think so. Jatin, go ahead.
Yeah, so the price increase also happens due to the FOMO, fear of missing out. People, were excited, just like people were excited for Fireside Forum. I think the things will get ease out as there will be less only genuine people. See, people were messaging Nicolas Kokales only due to testing, only due to testing, or 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 in an excitement that if he replies, right? So I think the genuine conversation between like you and your team will be more eased out, will be very less paid. It will never be like a Nicholas Cocales's chat. Also, it is just a stick DM. It is not like paid DM, right? You're not paying to DM Raise or me, or it is not. I'm not like I'm not paying Raise to get a reply. It is just a staking DM, right? If he accepts it, I'll get my pie back. It is as simple as that. Yeah. So people should not be panicking about it, and people should not be messaging popular people in the thing of uh, it is 33276 32765. Yeah. Yeah, it is expensive, it is expensive, it is expensive, yeah. I would not try it. So yeah, so people should just use it for genuine purposes. That is the main reason for the pie chats and introducing the introduction of DMs, staking stake DMs. It should be used for genuine reasons and genuine reasons only. That is the only purpose of this.
Yeah, stake DMs are interesting. Yes, they are interesting. But again, I think it should be like my friend is saying, just don't go to the popular people because at the end of the day, you don't want to take that risk. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to take that risk. I'm not going to take that risk with my pie. Right now, you've just seen it. It's over 3,000 pie. I need to stake in order to get Nicholas to obviously open up the channel to be able to have a conversation with me, which he won't because he's too busy. We know that. Do you get what I'm saying? But I'm not saying he won't accept it. He would, but it will take time, people. It will take time. So please don't do it because he's got probably hundreds of thousands of people who are requesting to have a conversation or a chat or even testing, just testing to see, to have a conversation with him. So at the moment, it's accumulated and it's at over 3,000 pi to stake. Remember, the word is stake, not pay. Stake, that's the word. So you're not paying, you're staking. The moment the person accepts, it goes back into your wallet. I've had a few times with Edwin, with a few people, and that's what it is. You stake it, the person accepts it, you request, the person accepts, and then it goes back to your wallet. It will be pending for some minutes or hours, but it will go back into your wallet. So don't worry about that. But yeah, on one hand, it's a good idea. On the other hand, be careful with it. You know, when the person is popular, be very careful with it. Let's see. I will begin to read some comments. Very important because these comments are here. So let me see. Somebody said we're trying to get past KYC, then the mainnet, not spend Pi on apps unless they're beneficial on both sides. So that's from L Man 01. Jelani here saying, actually, you guys are very good, and we thank you for your efforts. Pi needs to give us news to deliver to our referrals, as many people are trying to stop all these minings while Pi needs to stay. Well, yeah, good point. Good point. Miss out here saying, hi Rays, I missed your live show from 3rd of May. The government shut down mobile internet in my state, Manipur, India, till date. The worst in the entire universe. I miss you. Thank you for being here. I hope it's back. If it's back, that or unless you're out of state, then maybe you're able to watch this live show with Jatin Gupta. Elman here saying it could be anyone messaging you back. LOL. Yeah, you know. Keep on the good work from Emmanuel Elman saying that's Saint Nicholas Father Christmas because his bag would be full of one message. KYC tentative problem. I like this one. This is funny. This is funny. This is very sarcastic but funny. I like that. Let me go to some questions that I've actually saved. So let me see. A few people asked questions earlier, and some people made a comment. So I've got, I think this is Idris, one of my long-term viewers. He said, I believe in Pi Network Project, and in core team, as they are doctors in the big university. They know what they're doing. We have just to be patient. I think patient is what he's going to say. They have a big secret. Listen, I don't like secrets. That's one thing for sure. I don't like secrets. So I just want, if you've got something, just say it. Why should it be a secret? Do you know what I mean? I've been working with different people my whole life, and we all know where secrets lead us. Nowhere, really. So please, secrets or no secrets, I love Pi Network. Remember that. I do love Pi Network, and whatever I say about Pi Network is just what I believe and certain things I know and I've been told. So, you know, I use the platform to impart the message to you. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, because they have a big secret, I'm going to be patient and sit here and relax and just wait till manna falls from heaven. No. I don't do things like that. Anyway, cool comment. Joshua here saying, how can we sell some things that we don't know the price? Well, then don't sell. Wait till you can still barter. Remember, that's what the enclosed network is for. You can still barter, do your thing, go to PyChain or all the other, utility platforms and see what you can do. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's forcing you to do anything. You need to remember that. The choice is yours. However much you want to sell it for or buy it for, that choice is yours within the enclosed network. It could be any price. The enclosed network is all about bartering. People seem to have forgotten the fundamentalness of enclosed network. It's about bartering. It's about building the ecosystem. It's about making it stronger. It's about building DApps. It's about all of the things that are happening. And of course, KYC and mainnet migration. All of these things are happening. And KYC will still be happening even during mainnet. You need to remember that as well. It will be happening during mainnet. Migration will be happening during mainnet. Yep, Jatin.
Yeah, to this question, I have some suggestion. What you can do is you just want to create a, a closed, a micro closed group of, let's say, 4 to 5 people in
Jatin,
your.
keep talking. Keep talking. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
I have to take some.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Only in your, in your local area, not like you want to create a WhatsApp group or you want to create a Telegram group in which you want to in which you want to sell things to people you don't know, or you would have to sell them through online channels. No, I do not want you to do this. I want you to do is what I want you to do is to make a closed group of people, let's say 4 or 5 people, decide a certain value, that if you sell me this at this price, I'll sell you this at this price. So decide for, let's say, the group's name can be $10 closed group, right? So what will happen is you can exchange things for one pie is equals to $10 within 4 or 5 people, right? So what will happen is it'll not be exploited, right? It'll not be exploited. Second thing is that if you provide something to your trusted people, to your trusted person, uh, someday he'll provide you something, right, in the exact same value. So in this way you have to create certain small enclosed micro communities. So when you do this, other people will notice it, they'll make their own communities, and these small communities, when they'll exchange their prices, then the value builds, right? It is not like that there's no value at what price we should sell. No, we'll have to build value, right? Start with small group of 4 or 5 people in which you'll barter certain things at the same price, and you'll not accept any outsider, because as soon as you invite other people in your group, the price manipulation will start, right? So do just 5 people, 5 people will be there, and try it just with one value. Okay, I just need, for example, winters are kicking in. If you need a geyser, right, so you can ask a certain person, okay, send me a geyser at this price, and in the month of March, I'll buy you a cooler, or I'll buy you buy you an AC at the exact same price. So in this way, you have to exchange things in just small groups, right? So this way you can start bartering.
Yep. So Joshua, I hope you're still on. If you're still on, acknowledge it by putting it in the comment section. But you've heard what Jatin has said. Keep doing that. Now let me go to the next comment. Somebody said we should talk about tentative KYC. Don't worry, we'll talk about it very soon. But obviously I have to really rush it because there are things that I need to talk about. Elman here saying the real question is Pi Network a real project? Or, okay, I'm going to get into this very soon. So I'll actually talk about it a bit later. Let me talk about this one. The Pi Core team must consider time factor. People are dying, and there are a lot of dormant Pi accounts by now. This is a serious question. And I'll have to take into account what briefly, Jatin, what would you say about this one in particular? Briefly.
Yeah. So uh, when Pico team launched this project, right, there was no timeline, right? From the initial days, there was no timeline. What made people see? You have to consider many factors globally. When Pi was launched, it was, it was pandemic, right? People were hoping for something which can give money by staying home, right? They thought that it'll come next year, it'll come in 2020. It didn't come. They thought it will come in 2021. No, it didn't come. What you need to understand is, whenever a project goes live, right, we have been doing a reverse engineering, right? Whenever a crypto project, in the earlier days, when we talk about in 2019, in the early days, in 2019, not in the early days, in 2019, whenever a project came, they had been developing it in the background for like 10 years, 5 years, 7 years, 6 years. They had been doing it for without the involvement of users, right? So what the core team is done, they have brought the users, and along with the users they have been developing it, right? So it is a very normal process for a project to get fully developed in like 5 to 6 years, 7 years, right? It is very normal. It is not like that Pico team has a very special ability that they'll finish this project in just 3 years or 2 years. What got wrong was because of the influencers we have all around. The narrative got changed, right? It'll make you rich. It'll make you rich in 1 year. It'll make you rich in 6 months. No, it is not like that. Any crypto project or any if you say any kind of technology which is new, it needs time. It needs time to get developed. It needs time to improve. Reiterations are there, right? If you see the AI of KYC, the KYC applications of the early days are still stuck today, but the AI has reviewed all those KYC applications in the due time, and now all the applications get approved or rejected within just 15 to 20 minutes, right? So things evolve and it takes time, right?
All right. So what I'll add to it is, like Jatin said, obviously Pi started 2019, I think over 1 year, and then we had the pandemic where we all went to a global lockdown and so on. So people were more engaged in it. Crypto, if you could see, became popular, and the currency went down. Crypto always goes in the opposite direction with currency. We know that currency depreciates and crypto just goes up, and that's what's happening now. One thing I wanted to talk about briefly before Jatin comes in is the fact that Pi Network has gone on a journey with us. Those of us that started 2019, we saw the earlier days. I saw the earlier days when I didn't know where Pi would get to, so I was just going with the flow. I didn't think about it as mainnet was going to happen on such and such. All I knew was some mainnet was going to happen at the end of 2021, which happened. It did, and they named it the enclosed network. So they told us once the enclosed network is developed enough, and they feel like we've had the intrinsic value of Pi network, then we could go into the open network. So again, there is no timeline. I've always said it. There's never been a timeline for open network. I've said it from day one. But right now, you can see a countdown on my ticker which says 200 and something days. What I'm trying to tell you is at least that. Those of you who are not watching and listening, watch and listen. Watch again. It's coming. The ticker is coming. You can see it says 250 days, 53 days at least until open mainnet. So remember, it is not 253 days. I'm saying 253 days at least, meaning it is not going to happen any earlier than Pi 2 Day 2024. That's what I mean by that. It's not going to happen any earlier than that time. So again, there is no timeline. This one is just me giving you a broad overview of when it could happen, at least, or the earliest. Do you get what I'm saying? So please, people, let's be very careful with the information we put out there. Let's not just say things to our downlines or our followers or our friends and family members that, oh, Pi Network or this, or Ray said that, and Jatin said this and this and that. No, everything is not as clear as you think it is when it comes to Pi Network, unless the Pi core team themselves come and announce it. If they don't announce it, everything else may be rumor, it may be conjecture, it may be sourced out, but it's still not the Pi core team directly. So take it with a little bit of pinch of salt and don't look at it at face value. That's what I'll say for now. Jatin, I think you wanted to say something. So
Yes. Uh, when we go through the white paper, right? So there are certain steps. Those steps are not mentioned like step one, step two. But if you read it carefully, not you, but people, when the people read it carefully, you'll notice that there are certain steps which have already been fulfilled, right? Uh, in the middle of the white paper, it is mentioned that in the future, uh, uh, it is one of the criteria of the open mainnet. When in the future, when we want to go into the open mainnet, before that we'll be able to see an inclusive social network. And we saw Fireside Forum. It is mentioned that we'll see inclusive a platform for conversations, and we saw pie chats. These After these two things, there are two more things in the white paper which need to be fulfilled before the open mainnet. If you read it, you will understand there are only two things which are remaining. First is the node need to go to the mainnet. The fourth thing is that governance model. If you if there are talks in the version 1 and version 2 of the roadmap, which is going to come in December, the version 1 will come in October, and the version 2 will come in December. In December, if you see the talks of the node and a governance model, then I can say that open mainnet is just after these two things, right? And it could happen after these two things happen. The open mainnet within just 6 months, or let's say 1 year. So you just need to seek, if you want a hint, right? So this is the hint, that if you see things related to nodes and governance model, then you can expect the mainnet within just 6 months or 8 months. So these are the only two things which need to be fulfilled before the open mainnet, which are remaining. Other things have been fulfilled, like the utility platform, the infrastructure. The infrastructure is complete for the apps also, for the local ambassadors also, for local shops also. You have, QR code. There's one more thing. There's one more thing which will be introduced in the later year, or in the later stages, that I had given this suggestion in the survey which came in September or in August, I guess. So there'll be one more thing with the QR code, that the sound box, right? For example, if I send you some pie, it will be announced, right? That this person has sent you this amount of pie, and it has been transferred into your account. The narration could be different, but there will be a soundbox feature. So people need to understand this. So there will be developments, and there will be, certain things which need to be fulfilled before the open mainnet. And if you see these two things, node and uh, this governance model, you can expect the mainnet is very close.
Right. So you heard it from Jatin, of course. Nodes on the mainnet, obviously, and of course, the governance model. So those two. If you see anything around that, hovering or happening, we're getting closer and closer. If they don't happen, then we're further away from it. So that's just what it is. So people, let's develop Pi Network to be what it's supposed to be. Me personally, my only concern is only one thing and only one thing only. I want them to communicate with us. That's all I want. Keep communicating, just keep communicating, even if it's something you're talking about, even if it's, oh, we're doing this in a bedroom. Yeah, look at us, me and Chenjao. Yeah, look at what we're doing. I'm just joking, but you know what I mean. Communication, communication, communication. And that's it. That's what people need. They're not saying you should come and give us open mainnet right now. Of course, if you do, people will be happy. But me personally, I know we'll get there eventually. But we should be patient. And again, Pi Network took us on a journey. They started from somewhere, they took us from there, and we developed it with them together. We developed the wallet with them together. If you remember, they asked us a question if we wanted non-custodial or custodial wallet, and most of us chose non-custodial. So that's what we have right now. Therefore, we keep our passphrase safe and make sure that nobody has it. Therefore, if it's safe, you're able to go into your wallet and so on and so forth. On the other hand, you can also use your biometric facilities like your iris or your fingerprint. You can use that as well. But even if you do use that, you change your phone, you still need your passphrase to be able to get into your wallet. So for the first time around, and then activate the biometric facility as well. Listen, it's great. We're about to finish, so let's talk about something very quickly. We're talking about so many things. Where do you think, this is a question for you, you know what it is, where do you think Pi Network is so far? Keep it brief. Where do you think Pi Network is so far?
So what I believe is 85% of the work is done, right? 85% of the total timeline of Pi Network is fulfilled, right? If we talk about the AI to developed for the KYC, it is fully developed now. The people who do KYC right now, it gets validated very smoothly. Second thing is that migrations are working right now. It is paused. Uh, some of my team member had messaged in senior pioneers chat that when the migrations will be reinitiated. So they replied that in a couple of weeks. So the pending migrations will be completed. As I said in the previous videos also, they have a target of completing the migrations, pendency of migrations before the version 2 comes out, because they need to give people that what we have done, right? So they'll complete it before the version 2 comes out. Third thing is that the utility part, the infrastructure for utilities is complete, right? If you see Pi SDK, if you see QR code, these all come into the ecosystem of infrastructure, right? To for the people to use Pi frequently, to use Pi into their websites. uh, it is the infrastructure is complete. The fourth thing is that, as I said, the node and this governance model. These are the two things which are remaining right now, and the governance model will be implemented for the decentralization, right? So when you see the talks of this governance model, you are moving towards decentralization. Just want to point out something that when you said that when you said that there should be more communication, I'm very happy that sometimes they communicate less, sometimes they communicate more, but I'm very happy that they are not giving the everyday insights of the project. For example, the person who just messaged yesterday in senior pi chat, which I am talking about, he told me he talks to me every day on call. So yesterday what he told me that Sidra has shifted their launch to December, right? So when the talks of this version 2 came out, at the exact same time they had shifted their this launch in the December, because they want to copy, at every point of time. Every app has been copying Pi network has been the pioneer of the technology, and these apps are copying it, right? So in December, when the you'll notice, I'm saying this today, everybody who is mining Sidra, I do not mine Sidra, but people who are mining Sidra can notice that they'll talk launch about the launch of their coin after the version 2 gets released of the Pi network. So see, yeah. So on the communication part, I am happy with that. They are sometimes very vocal and sometimes they are not very vocal. Yeah.
Right, that's good. That's good. I've got a surprise question for Jatin. He doesn't know what that question is. He doesn't know any question. He's just there, hoping that the question is an easy one. But this is gonna be something he needs to answer. Or somebody said something. He said, "Are Nicholas and Chenja are married?" Yes, they're married. I can say that with absolute certainty that they're married, 100%. And they're a good couple. They work together and they share common goals. So that's great. That's great. Dangara here saying, Victor saying, great work, Mr. Ray. Thanks for the constant update about Pi Network. And How Fan is saying, hello, everyone. Dark saying, I'm there, miner of Sidra. I don't mind Sidra. So I don't nothing about it. I don't mind Sidra. Let me see what people are saying before I get into the final question, surprise question for Jatin. Somebody said what? Let me see. Somebody said the core team are not following their white paper. No, they are. They're just not on a timeline. They're following it. They're just not on a timeline. That's what it is. They haven't given like a roadmap or a timeline to say in June we're going to do this. They've given a roadmap. It's not clear enough to me, but they haven't said that in June we're going to do that. In July we're going to do this. They never said that. So there is no proper timeline. Apart from the timeline they gave was mainnet, and when it came at the end of 2021, it was enclosed network. That's what it was. That they gave a timeline for, and they fulfilled it. So yes, it is what it is with that one. Somebody says, well, wouldn't it be better to open mainnet to be able to purchase better software equipment? No, you can't do that. How are they going to even? No, it's not like that. It's not like they haven't purchased better software equipment. They have. They have purchased better software equipment. Trust me. It's just they have to go with a certain tool. Do you know what I mean? And if certain tools are not the way they're supposed to be, they have to rectify before they move to the next phase. Listen, I have always been an advocate of Pi Network and what they do. I've always been adamant about communication. It's been my one thing after Pi 2 Day. That's been my one thing. I got pissed off. That was emotional video I did. And listen, that's what it is. I've done it. I don't regret it. I said what I said. But at the end of the day, you all know I'm passionate about Pi Network, and that's it. Nothing changes with that one. Um, Himanshu here say Himanshu official saying many experts say that Pi Network is fake and Pi Network play. No, they don't. Listen, Pi Network is not a scam. Remember that. I've said it here several times. I've done video about it. Pi Network is not a scam. So remember that. If anybody tells you it's a scam, tell them to go to hell because it's not a scam. Yep, Jatin wants to say something.
Yes. First of all, it is not a scam. Second thing is that if you look at the G20, right? Himanshu is from India, I guess, so he must be knowing about G20, and he must be knowing about what are the things that were discussed in G20, right? So G20, there was main focus was crypto regulations, and G20 in the presidency of India is leading uh, the timeline. So the roadmap has been presented from India only, how to regulate cryptos. For example, uh, in the ongoing war, there are talks that the funding was provided through crypto, right? So to avoid all these things, we need KYC, and we need KYC which is fulfilled on the international laws, which is FATF and anti-money laundering laws, right? So these two things need to be fulfilled, and to fulfill all those things, there's a roadmap which India has provided, and it has a timeline of 3 years, right? And if you talk about currencies, right? So if Rays United is in US, I'm in India, right? And what is happening in the geopolitics right now, it is that no no country wants to, I would not say no, and not every country, but very less country right now are willing to accept dollars in the exchange of trades, right? For example, especially the G20 countries, right? So which currency will they be trading? They do not have any a certain currency, right? Apart from USD, they do not have any other currency, and they do not want. And the other the country on the other side does not want to accept the currency of the A country, right? So what will happen is there's only one currency right now in the world which has fulfilled the KYC process, which is Pi, which fulfills the FATF rules, which is Pi, which fulfills the anti-money laundering laws, which is Pi, right? And in the future, I'm just giving you a hint. It is not an absolute line which is written on the stones. It is just a hint that you'll not see Pi on the exchange. What you'll see is an integration of CBDCs in the Pi wallet itself. This is what you'll see.
That takes me straight to the next very good question, and this is it. Hello, Ray.
Yeah.
Ask Jatin when can Pi be accepted as global currency? Now, this is something that you obviously are speaking, but it's not in that terms. It's more about CBDC. So let's see what that is all about with Jatin's explanation. Jatin, go ahead.
Yeah, so just I just explained it right now. For example, if China wants to trade with India, right? So every country will have their own CBDCs, right? So, for example, India has already been doing pilot testing for e-rupee, right? And it will be live from 1st of November. There are 7 banks which are doing the pilot testing of those CBDCs, and from 1st of November it will be live, right? So what will happen is, first it will be traded in within the country in the domestic trades, and when the what is happening is that world is shifting from US sanctions, right? What is happening is other countries are shifting to accept US dollars, to accept another type of currency. Now, which currency will they accept it? Will they accept to trade with? There are no certain currencies which they are agreeing on, right? For example, China saying that, oh, accept my currency, but the other country doesn't want to accept it. So what is happening is they want their CBDC to be linked with one type of currency. See, so what will happen is, as this person, worship lord, is asking that when it will be accepted as a global currency in the future, you'll see the integration of CBDCs of certain currencies, certain countries' currencies within the Pi wallet itself, right? So what happened is, when I send Raise United for a certain kind of service, Pi, he'll be able to, directly convert that pi into his CBDC model of USD, right? Then he'll be able to transfer it directly into his bank. So this is going to be there, and on all these things, there's only one currency right now in the world, which is pi, which fulfills all the requirements, which are which are required to fulfill the international laws, the anti-money laundering laws, and the FATF. There's only pi and no other currency right now.
Listen, that's why the so-called open mainnet is sort of a mirage now. That's why you have to look at it as a mirage. It's far ahead. It's because the Pirecore team, I can categorically say, particularly from Chenjao and Nicholas, they're not focused on like, oh, let's go into mainnet. They're focusing on building the currency to make it stronger, to have a use case, to have a background, which, and obviously, like I said, we fulfill the anti-money laundering rules and all the other financial rules, international monetary rules that we're supposed to meet. And from what I see, from where I'm sitting, they've worked on that tirelessly over the years. You get what I'm saying? To ensure that Pi Network gets there. And that's why Pi Network is totally different from Bitcoin, totally different from Ethereum. And Pi Network doesn't use any of the protocols they use. Pi Network uses its own Stellar Consensus Protocol. And if you want to understand it, go to Stellar's website and understand it. You will know what they use. I've read about it several times, so at least I've got some little knowledge about it. Go do your own research yourself as well, and you understand. If we're patient with Pi, remember my whole problem, I repeat again, my problem is that just communicate with the masses. I'm okay with what you're doing, but me, people put pressure on me, and I don't have answers to them. So I feel like, I'm relaying it to the core team, and they should just give something back. And that's all I'm saying, nothing else. The jobs they've done so far, good, great, But that leads me to the final surprise question. Jatin, is Pi Network an experiment in your opinion? Now, this you need to talk about it before we go. Is it an experiment in your opinion? Be very constructive, be very pragmatic. Is it an experiment? Please go ahead.
So in their white paper, I'll go with the white paper only. I'll not put my own views. I'll put my own views after I line down the white paper's terminology. In the white paper, it is said that it is a social experiment, right? In the third or fourth line itself, they have repeated it twice or thrice, I guess, that it is a social experiment, right? Why it is a social experiment? Because uh, as we have seen that years of US sanctions has been laid to different countries for n number of reasons. Like we have seen in Russia's case also, that Russia-Ukraine war. So they freezed US freezed $300 billion of Russia's money, which Russia had to trade in their US bank account, right? So in a way, there are, to solve this problem, banks introduced was-through accounts, right? So was-through accounts also failed. So now they are going into CBDCs, right? So CBDCs right now, countries are testing within their own limits. Then they'll test it in in the international borders. So all these things, when you see, these are all testings, and when testings are always experiments, right? So why it is called a social experiment? Because it is in your hand, right? There were no cryptos in the world before Pi network which could be mined on your phone, right? And right now also, there are very less cryptos in the world which are right now, continuously giving you mining capabilities. The see, Omega launched, it failed. I believe it is a failed project, right? Core launched it. We know what's the position of Core right now, right? And there are many other apps which I can't even remember. Star, Alpha, Eagle. There are so many. But did they have a vision of making it a global currency? No, I don't think so. They only had a vision of, give them mining and then launch it on the exchange for money. We'll earn money and our users will earn money. This was the only vision. But when we see, when we connect the dots, as Steve Jobs had said once, when we connect the dots in the past, we'll understand what is happening, right? So when they launched as a social experiment, so social experiment is what they had tried it in the initial days. Will it go far enough? So yes, it went far enough. It has come far enough right now. So right now it is not only a social experiment. Now social experiment thing was the past. Now it is a fully grown cryptocurrency, which is moving forward to become a global currency, right? And hopefully and successfully it will become, because there are no other currency which I can see. We do not use Ethereum in our daily life. Rays do not use Bitcoin in his daily life. I do not see any other crypto in the world right now which people use in their daily life, right? For which people are paying and from PyChain Mall and buying goods and services. I do not see people are drinking coffee, having coffee with Pi in their daily life. I do not see any kind of cryptos in the world right now which are able to do this. So a social experiment in a way that it was able to give you mining on your phone, and it has become a thing of the past. The term has become the thing of the past. Right now, it is moving towards the terminology of global currency. Yeah, this is what I have to say.
Right. Obviously, I released a video a few days ago, and when I said Pi network is an experiment, people, I think they blew it out of context. They didn't watch the video, and then they saw that I was a bit animated about it. But I was speaking from a pragmatic point of view. I was saying that if it's an experiment, remember, it was an if clauses that was stating there, and a lot of people didn't get it, and they're trying to say probably I'm blowing hot and cold and all of that. I don't blow hot and cold. I know where I stand when it comes to Pi Network. I'm just releasing a content to create a discussion, points of discussion. And that's what that was all about. I got very good responses. Some of them were extremely good, extremely well constructed. They were trying to toe the line of politics so that they wouldn't offend me. But it's not about offending me. If you counteract what I said, I respect that. I respect that. But at the end of the day, you can't say that. I don't like when people say, "Oh, Pi is this Pi." They don't actually talk about the substance of Pi. They just talk about it because that's what they've been told. You get what I'm saying? And if that's what you've been told, I don't buy that, because you're actually spitting out somebody's words. Why don't you do your own research and come to me and let's have a conversation? Because when somebody's actually typing, I see straight away, oh no, this person is spitting somebody's words. I don't like that. But when somebody's spitting their own words, you just know. When you're reading, you know they're talking to you. And so you respond to that in a constructive way. Now, yesterday, I released another video where I played snippets of Sheriff Network's video that they released some months ago about an interview that was held by some guy with Chenjao Fan and Nicholas. And he made reference to X, formerly known as Twitter, as an experiment which Elon Musk is doing, because what he did was he took it out of the public domain and made it a private entity where he was able to do what he wanted without having to have interferences and whatever from shareholders here and there. Do you know what I mean? So he bought them out by buying the company outright so that he owns it. And obviously, he even had to take some shares from Tesla to be able to buy outright for $44 billion. And that's a lot of money. You understand what I'm saying? According to Elon Musk, he overpaid to own Twitter outright. But he knew the value of Twitter. That's why he didn't mind paying that amount of money for it, because it's all about value. It's not about the money. Because when it comes to money, Elon Musk doesn't have a problem with money, but he's looking at the value of Twitter. You get what I'm saying? And that has become a social experiment because he's experimenting as he goes along. And then he asked the question. Sorry, he didn't ask the question. He said, just like you guys are doing, You understand? If you watch the video, I didn't play the entire thing for copyright reasons, but I spoke on top of it so I wouldn't get copyrighted. Do you know what I mean? And there was a part where the question was, sorry, that statement the guy made, the interviewer, and then he said that just like you guys are doing as an experiment, because Pi, for all intents and purposes, started as an experiment. You get what I'm saying? And that's what you, Jatin, said, a social experiment. And that's what we were trying to say, but people didn't understand because they're so emotionally attached to Pi Network that they don't. Exactly, pinhole. It's all pinhole. You know, the view is so tiny. You understand? But you need to broaden it and then go outside the box and understand what I was trying to say. The people that understood the video I released, they understood it. The ones that didn't, they were getting emotional and saying, "Oh, why is he saying that Pi is an experiment?" And even if it's an experiment, it's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? Looking back, if it's an experiment, it's a good thing because all good projects started off as an experiment and then they progressed. Some failed, of course, like you said, Omegas failed, time stops failed, B networks failed, cores failing, all those ones are failing because they didn't have a proper goal. It wasn't an experiment that they were going to be able to progressively go on with. So, yeah, people, you need to understand. Even if I say Pi is an experiment, I didn't say from a negative point of view. Yes, the body language I had that day felt like it's negative. It felt like it. But that was the moment. You understand? Listen to the substance of the video. Then you'll understand. And so I had to release that video yesterday for people to actually understand what I meant by that and where that particular phrase of Pi is an experiment came from. And therefore it was clear and people began to understand it. So they were like, oh, that's what you meant. You know what I mean? So Jatin, you've obviously spoken about it. And in your opinion, the question is, you can see it on the screen, is Pi Network an experiment? Forget about it evolving from social experiment to wherever it is. But right now, as we speak, yeah, is it an experiment?
For me, it is not an experiment right now. Uh, it has, it has much more to offer than just an experiment. If it was an experiment, it has been done. They could have done it in, just like we have enclosed minute. They could have done it in enclosed number of people, right? It hadn't been spread out to the world. 230 countries, 50 million people, and still growing strong. So it is not an experiment right now, and it is this a genuine project, a genuine crypto, and the way if you look at the taxation policies of every country, right? So what will happen is people who are doing barters in the enclosed mainnet, they will have to show in their income taxes also that we have done so and so trades for Pi, uh, for this for X amount for these goods, right? So when they show this into their income tax accounts, don't you think that they'll have to mention it that this is the crypto which we received for these products, and then when they mention it in their income tax, right? So how it is an experiment? It is a real crypto. It is coming on a government document, right? It is coming on a government document which people file, right? So it has become much more. It is not just an experiment. Yes, the iterations will be there. The iterations, see, if we talk about the iterations, if we talk about the evolvements, Ethereum, even after the launch of the Ethereum, it is, they moved it into what they say it, merge, or what they call it, the 2.0, Ethereum 2.0, right? So the developments will always be there, the improvements will always be there. They'll do the experiments every time, which will be relevant in that certain time of period. Let's say in 2030, they'll have to try something which will be relevant in 2030 within that crypto, right? So for that period of time, that evolvement will be called as experiment. But to call a whole project and as an experiment and it will fail. No, it is not. It has already been a successful project, because if we look at the other copies of the Pi network, they have all, you know, failed, as you mentioned. They all failed, right? And without a vision. So it has a vision, and they have been working tirelessly. And sooner or later, there's a delay. I agree, there's a delay, but they are working according to the roadmap only, and it will be fulfilled. Yeah.
Right. So obviously, according to Jatin, Pi Network is not an experiment. It used to be a social experiment, but they've evolved. They've gone past that now. They are a fully fledged cryptocurrency. The only thing left is for them to obviously progress onto the mainnet, which will happen sometime down the future, but no later. Sorry, no earlier than Pi 2 Day, according to what I've heard. No earlier than Pi 2 Day, which means it will be either on Pi 2 Day next year or after Pi 2 Day next year, but not before, from everything that I've heard and seen so far. Jatin, lastly, is there anything that comes to mind from your end as we're speaking? Is there anything that, may have crossed your mind as we're speaking, before we end?
Uh, Not really. Just one thing I want to say to the people, that just stay in the project, just stay in the system. Believe that if you are see, thing is that people who are waiting for KYC slots, the real people, right? There will be solutions for them also. Open mainnet is not happening soon, so they should not worry about their KYC, because open mainnet is not going to be moved forward without them, right? As they had mentioned, no real pioneer will be left behind. So believe them when they have already said it, that no real pioneer will be left behind. So believe them that no real pioneer will be left behind. So if your KYC slot is pending, it is not been provided to you. The KYC slot is not been provided to you. So just believe them. Just do not, go against the project. Uh, you have not received the KYC slot doesn't mean the project has failed. The others have received it. The others have migrated. The others have been doing barters. So uh, you know, uh, so just believe in the process, and you will be able to do your KYC slot before the open mainnet. This is all I want to say. Nothing else. Yeah.
It's been a great discussion, interview, whatever you want to call it, with Jatin. As usual, we spent almost 2 hours sitting here talking about things. I didn't expect that we spend 2 hours, but we have. And thank you so much for honoring this invitation. Obviously, we had it in the pipeline weeks ago. And listen, Eddie Cabas was supposed to be here, but because of the time difference, I'll have to do a separate show with him. It will be in and around this subject, so we'll hear Eddie Cabas's view as well, and it may be completely different or along the lines of what Jatin has been saying. But listen, it's been great having you people. It's also been great having you and your comments. We've been able to read through almost every comment, and I'm glad that we've done that. The last comment, obviously, by Deno Bravo here saying, experiment or no experiment, Pi's journey made us patient folk. Listen, that's good. I'm a patient person anyway, but I understand the point. Some people have developed a level of patience that is unrivaled. So I'm happy about that as well. And that's what the project is about. It's about patience. It's about steadiness. It's about looking at the nitty-gritty of what's happening so we wouldn't falter along the line. So I am happy, but like I said, my whole thing has always been about them communicating with us. I've never shied away from that, and that's always been my thing. So listen, Jatin, it's been great having you. Thank you so much for coming. And we'll be doing some more in the coming weeks or months, definitely.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care, guys. Name is Ray. Channel's Race United. Word is peace, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Rays united. Oh my God, Rays made another one. Woo!